Oh God. Boy, Thursday night. Thursday. Used to be Fridays. Now Thursdays are Fridays. Now Fridays are Thursdays. Hey, Laura Boyne. Laura Boyne checking in from Aurora, folks, before we even start the show.
Who?
Someone named Laura Boyne. Boyne. I can hear her through your... Yeah, that's great. Well, folks.
I'm in the Phil N Jon Zone. I'm in the
Crack a beer. Go get grandma.
Phil N Jon Zone.
Tell your friends. Share it. Who cares about making dinner? Come to the zone. I mean, I do too. Like in the mountain.
The Phil N Jon Zone. I'm in the John. Phil N Jon Zone. You get your fill. In the John. In the Phil N Jon Zone.
Here we are, folks, back in the Phil and John Zone again for another night on the town. We so happy to be here tonight. I'm going to share this out real quick, a couple places, so that people can see it in other locations. And been pretty good lately by putting the shows on YouTube after the show. So if you don't like watching Facebook, or you don't like Facebook, your friends are like, we don't like Facebook, whatever it is, that some reason why you don't use Facebook. Well, you can watch on YouTube now and check out my page or whatever. Subscribe, like, ding the bell, whatever, all that stuff they say on the show. Got the bird. See, no snow on the ground. See, no snow on the ground there, Phil. Just a nice sunny day here in the high 40s.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Asked you before the show. And
It's 4 o'clock, and it will be 4 o'clock. It'll be 4 o'clock without the dogs telling us it's 4 o'clock. Remind people they're watching the Phil and John Zone. Week 143. 143 weeks approaching our 3-year mark. Thursday, February 2nd. I'm pretty sure my dog just saw his shadow. It's Groundhog's Day. Jeffrey Blackman taking a quick break from the office, he's stepping outside, do some one-hitters probably. hopefully at work your boss isn't watching either. But either way, good for you. It's California. We're in Illinois. We can talk about that stuff. Dog's going crazy because Amy just got home, and they let the dogs outside next door out. So always happens this time of the weekend. Anyway, how are you, Phil?
I am fine, John. It's funny that I'm looking at you. You say, "Look at it." I'm looking at your backyard, and here we have snow, which is cool. Just cool. We still have our snowmen, snow globes out in the backyard, which looks really cool. I can consider it winter still, so I enjoy it. And yeah, I enjoy the winter to a point, but it's not going to be spring next week, so might as well be snow on the ground because I like it. Deal with it if you don't like it.
If it's going to be wintertime, I'd rather there was snow. If it's going to be cold, I got to stay inside. If I go outside, I'm going to play in the snow. I don't want to go outside and just be cold and nothing. Which is kind of what we have here, nothing,
Yeah, we really haven't had that much snow either, so there might be a shortage.
No, we haven't had hardly any snow. We have hardly two snowfalls this year, and they both melted pretty fast.
Yeah, so one was early too. Yeah,
the last one we were supposed to get 6 inches a couple weeks ago, and it just dusted, blew around a little bit. Yeah, she knows the dog going crazy. That's hilarious. But tonight we have special guest Colt Ball joining us. We'll have to ask him where he's from because I'm not sure. I one time said somebody was from Okie Dokie, Ohio, but that's not exactly where they were from. Colt Ball could be from anywhere. Colt Ball sounds like an official name, doesn't it? It's like a Colt revolver, the ball bearings.
Me and Laura got to see Colt in LaSalle at a pub little mini festival with lunatics and stuff. That's where we just came in and saw Colt, and I thought very impressed. So
Yeah, so we'll bring him on the show in 15 minutes or so here, around 4:20, as we normally do. We can't, not every show can be as good as last week. We talked about all the music we loved, and we talked about that was the best ABC game because we just talked about what we loved, the albums we loved, and that's really how we've been playing. I bet you out of 120 ABC games, 100 of them have been about bands we love. But that one was about albums. That was really good. Guys talking about all those albums,
Well, isn't part of our show the shtick music related? So
Oh yeah.
part
of our lives.
Yeah,
The shtick of our life is kind of musical.
yeah, I dig it. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking to you.
You wouldn't be talking to me at all. Like we wouldn't be friends if it wasn't for the music. Probably we might. We bump into each other at the Walgreens or something like that. Welcome home, love. Amy's home, folks. That's why the dog.
We're live. Don't
haywire today. Ooh, what was that out there at the bench? Thank you. Oh, she brought my water bottle home from the bench by the fire.
Just me. There were dogs out too. So it's not just me.
Okay, it all happened at once. Dogs out and Amy got home. In the bathtub, taking he's taking a break. His back was hurting him, bugging him out, so he's resting now for now. But yeah, so like a whirlwind. The first 5 minutes of our show is I like chaos, a little bit of chaos, but not all chaos. Watched a great documentary last night before last about the Beastie Boys, where they talk about their whole career and tell the story of it. It's pretty cool, very inspiring. Made changes along the way to improve themselves and improve the people that were coming to their shows. They said they put the "Fight for Your Right" song out. You got to fight for your right to party. And unfortunately, that attracted a bunch of. They were kind of making fun of the party boys and the frat kids, and the frat misers and whatnot. And but by writing that song and kind of making fun of them, it actually attracted them to their shows. So their whole shows were just like a big frat party, and they got kind of a bad reputation off that first album. But then it goes into the rest of their career and all the rest of the stuff they did, and it's pretty amazing. Definitely a good one to watch if you got Apple TV. Unfortunately, it's only on Apple TV, so not sponsored by them. I don't got a free subscription. I'll give you the password.
Nope, I only got Peach TV. Sorry.
Peach TV? Oh, yeah, Peach TV. I got Pear TV. Pair of wings. Anyway, so I think we should probably just get moving today. You got your records, I'm supposing, so we should talk about records right away. Some cool records this week that I counted out of my collection. Probably seen them all before, but you know what? A record is cool. If you look at it 15, 20 times, you really can find something that's going to be cool again. It's going to be cool down the way. And I think that this record's always going to be cool. Maybe I'll show the other version of it today. I don't know. I like the artwork on this one. I'll start off with Big Brother and the Holding Company. When Janice was just in the band, Janice was just a member of the band, and she was playing, but she was doing all that great stuff. Love the artwork. It's like hand-painted stuff. And then they put their pictures into it. It's a great cornering. And then as a double feature on the back, have a good copy of Cheap Thrills. One of my favorite albums of all time, album covers of all time. Just the artwork is ridiculously ridiculous.
It is, yes. That's a classic.
It's old-fashioned 1970s underground artwork. I like this guy a lot. With this guy right here. The halo and the one eye and the cigarette and the shell. That's great. But, yep, Janis Joplin in general, anything she recorded on, but I like this is a really great album cover for the album cover artwork. Oh, people are already getting excited about Colt Ball in the chat. Right on, Jacob. What's up, buddy?
Hey, get rid of the Thing Zone.
What's that?
Get rid of the Thing Zone.
Okay, we'll put that away. That was actually just a tester, and there's not going to be any birds tonight, it looks like, so.
No. If there was, leave it. Yeah, that's there.
Yeah. Okay. Now, sorry, back to just us. I get it. You're getting distracted by nature.
No, if there was birds, I'd dig it. I wouldn't be listening to you. Just old classic Ella Fitzgerald, Mac the Knife. Great cover, like 7 years old. There's a signature on the back. It could be Ella. It's kind of scribbled there. I don't know if it is, but got a lot of albums that.
It's great artwork.
Great artwork. I love the black and white.
That sketchy nature of the town.
Yeah.
The town of Berlin, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine Ella Fitzgerald in Berlin. I wonder what year it was recorded. That intrigues me. Not that you'll be able to find it very easily, but that intrigues me.
Mom and Dad pay me more because you helped.
I didn't help because of the couch. Well,
'Cause
just
you
keep
worked
that as a tip.
outside.
Okay, well I'm gonna do that.
I'm keeping it.
Well, anyway, on my next record, while you're looking for that, is I love the inside of this
It's
album.
in
'Cause what it
absolutely
says.
mint condition. I mean,
The sign on the door when you got to the show was this sign, Phil. What did it say? No admission to anyone wearing motorbike gear or any metal studded clothing. Look at that. So you couldn't wear any biker gear into this show. They were having problems.
There you go.
I'm guessing because it was Little Feet.
Oh, Little Feet. Oh, that's a
Maybe they were attracting a bad crowd. 1970,
fantastic album.
1978 is the copyright on this one, but yeah, it's a great album. This is a great album.
One of my favorites. I love the cover. Yeah, just in a great album. Lowell George and
I wonder who did the cover art on it. I'll find that while you're looking for the date on Ella Fitzgerald. No, we're not going to just keep looking. This guy looks a little bit like Colt Ball right here. Maybe he had a different kind of hat. Anyway, so yeah, keep going. We got to keep this rolling. We got a guest coming in about 11 minutes.
Pat Travers.
Pat Travers Band, Heat in the Street.
Yeah. Great
That's
cover.
great. Is that him on the bottom left?
I think it's.
I don't remember what Pat Travers looked like.
I got to see him a few times.
That's the band, I'm sure.
Anyway,
Getting tickets for parking.
actually, I didn't pick out the records tonight. Laura did.
Laura did? Okay. Speaking of Beastie Boys, of course, one of my favorite records of all time, we'll bring it back out, is Paul's Boutique.
Wow, that's right. You told me that story, man.
Yeah, I just had so much fantastic. Hayden from
That is-
Metropolis, thank you,
wow.
buddy. That made my day when that record came into the collection. And the back of it has the rest of this.
Nope.
Got
I'm gonna break something.
to be gentle with it. Yeah, I haven't even pulled these sleeves out. I haven't pulled the records out of the sleeves yet. Still crackles when you close it. That's kind of shiny. That's just the cover.
Gotcha. Now the
But-
grease is on there. Now there's a handprint on there. Oh,
It
yes.
should be in a sleeve probably, but it's not for now.
Yeah, a plastic one. You should.
I know I don't have a
you
sleeve
should
big enough. It's
don't
real
play
vital.
knucklehead.
I am a knucklehead. This is true.
All right, cool cover. Sleeve. The Prism of 38 Special. Great old band. Got to see. They really rocked. They killed it, and it's pretty cool how they.
Yeah, that was expensive to do that. And you have both pieces still. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. I see one tear maybe.
38 Special. Long
Yeah.
story behind that. I probably told it, but I really don't want to tell it.
We have 9 minutes to kill. Long stories can be longer than you told me once you don't like real long stories. You like to
I don't feel really.
concise, tell the story. Don't get too in depth in all the stuff. But
Yeah, dude,
that's one of your favorite albums.
Yes.
Your favorite guy right here, Sting.
Yeah, I don't like.
Something happened to my record cover, so he's got a little white mark by his nose. He
I
was
don't
probably in the powder room too long. Great album, Sanjana Montoya. Don't Stand So
Great,
Close to Me.
great album.
Canary in a Coal Mine. You got the doo.
Canary in a Coal Mine, man. I want to hear that song. That could be an after show song.
Yeah, that's a good one. Canary in a Coal Mine.
Yeah.
That's still really drawn on the early days on the first record. That ska feel that they got that reggae. Yep.
Yep. Quick too.
Yeah.
Great album. Diana Ross and the Supremes. Cover. Beautiful. No problem.
Love Child.
Don't start singing.
So the last one I've got for tonight is this
Okay.
album that keeps popping out of my selection. It's the artist. I don't remember the artist's name that did it. He's pretty famous though. The guy that does these drawings and the artwork and the style that was used for a lot of Sonic Youth records. And the front was just black and white when I bought it. I bought this brand new, but I painted it. I painted right on the album. It's on the cover itself. So it would just look like one of these black and white images, but I went ahead and made it like that.
You did it? All right.
Yeah. I just thought it'd make an interesting addition to the album itself. I did it for a friend of mine, and then we stopped talking, honestly, and then I'm still gonna give it to him, but he hasn't been in my life for like multiple years now. So Shane, if you're out there, this is for you. Thompson, give me a hold of me or whatever. I'll find you somewhere. You want to bump into you at Kroger or something. But the idea is that's records for him. Made it for a friend of mine. I like this idea of painting on albums, like keep the album intact and then like embellish the artwork on the album cover in some way.
You shouldn't paint on albums, dude. That's very bogus.
See, that's what I did. Like I got this idea from a guy named Phil who paints on the actual records, which ruins the record. At least when I do it like this.
What an asshole.
If I do it like this, I still have the vinyl inside that I can listen to. You know. So I might start embellishing album covers. I think it'd be kind of fun, and then just have an art show that's just famous album covers that have been painted on. That'd be a good show, I think.
It's people like that who paint on records,
What?
Yeah. Oh,
That's pretty neat.
Picture
Picture disc. Oh wow, that is really neat. Huh. That's fancy. How'd they figure that out, man?
Yeah.
That's the science of albums, folks. The
Right.
science of albums.
Here's my last album, and I'll just
Okay.
put Jeff Beck,
Jeff Beck, rough and ready.
the Jeff Beck group. It's but he on all the guitars, all the shows when I saw him, he played Wired Blow by Blow, early stuff back in the day, and it just blew my mind. It kind of transformed my music taste. There was hardly any words. It's all music, but the guitar. So Jeff Beck, that was Jeff Beck group, and
5
Cozy.
records. Hey Tom, Dean, what's happening out there? Jacob Buskirk, John Taylor, how's everybody doing today? Good to see you tuned in on the show.
happy Thursday.
Always good to see Laura out there in the show, watching the show too. It means that somebody cares. She cares. I can tell. And yeah, Thursday. And again, a random night of the week, folks. It's gonna be random nights of the week. You're just gonna have to keep up with us. We did the last couple on Thursdays, but we missed all last week together, the whole week.
Look at my giant. I grew them from scratch from seed. My giant birdhouse gourds are finally dry. I grew them by seed, and now they're dry. They're hollow. Now I shave all the moss off it and paint it and drill a hole. It's for birds.
That's really cool.
Beautiful thing.
Birds are gonna like that. It's kind of
Sorry, I had
Star Wars home for birds.
It's a lot of work. I'm charging $400 a freaking peanut.
I wouldn't doubt your stuff's worth at least $400. I think probably.
For 10 of them. Yeah, no.
Yeah. So I think we should just go ahead and bring this guest in. We'll get him in here before 4:20, and he said we did this little sound check before. It's good to. His name's Colt Ball, folks. I'm gonna roll the window open for him to come in and let him figure it out. He may not be in the room. He had to go take a pee or something. He might have stepped away. We leave them in the green room sometimes too long. We forget they're in there, and then we check on them later. Hey, Colt, what's up,
He's
buddy?
in.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, buddy. All
All right,
right,
Colt.
good to see you. Welcome back to the zone. Welcome to the zone. First time on the zone, but
First
we're here earlier
time.
today. So you're in the zone with Phil and John right now. This is my buddy Phil. If you haven't met him before, he paints on
Hey, Colt.
records. And I'm John. I do all the other stuff that you know about.
Yeah, actually, I did meet Phil. He painted me that record back
Right, that's right. He was saying there was a football record out there, man. That's cool.
Right
there.
on.
Yeah,
Right on. Cool.
That's something. That's how we met. We met because doing artwork at music events and became friends.
yeah,
immediately.
yeah.
But now we like to bring people in and let them see what they got going on. So where are you from, Colt?
So originally, I'm from a small town called Modesto, Illinois. It's about 45 minutes south of Springfield, Illinois. It's a real small, just like cornfield town. Like if you blink, you'd miss it while driving through
Not
it.
on the highway, I don't
Very
think.
cool.
No, out in the middle of nowhere. Like we had to
Cool.
drive 35 minutes just to get a loaf of bread. There was no gas station in the town or anything like that. That it was out there. And yeah, I grew up around that area, but for the past close to a decade now, I've been outside of St. Louis, in the Bluffs near High Ridge and Fenton.
Nice. Yeah, nice. Very nice. In Missouri.
Yep.
Yep. Because Fenton and I have been out that way. Definitely nice out there.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, it's a nice area out there. We saw Colt last week. We were in Alton, Illinois, another nice area to go to and see some really pretty river. Man, amazing giant river. Giant river there. The big deluge of water. Crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Phil, you're up.
What? Yeah. I think I saw Colt twice, but I was very impressed when we saw him in that little snowstorm in LaSalle
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Lunatics that night. And I came in and I'm like, I see a lot of music, and I'm like, man, this dude's good. So and John said he saw you, so I'm pretty excited to have you on.
Man, I've
And
been meaning to hit you up to come on the show for a while and just let people check you out and see what you do. We have quite a following on our show. There's a guy who watches in Uganda. There's a guy that watches in Canada
and uh,
sometimes. Guy
and
in
in,
California.
That's
you
awesome.
know, the name of the show is the Phil and John Zone Show. I heard the pre-show while you guys do it. You can talk about whatever he said you can talk about, you can, but okay, good. Do your thing.
Phil's discounting my rule book. He's taking the rules back and saying this.
Oh yeah, come on.
Well, we won't
See?
get into that quite yet. Let's simmer a little bit before we start getting all wild or something like that. Okay.
It's 4:20, but after 5:20, then it gets kind of scary. So
Yeah, it's 5:19 right now. We're getting closer.
right.
So we got people. People are already excited about seeing you on the show, Colt. Jacob Buskirk says, "Hell yeah, Colt brings the energy for real." And then Trinity says, "Love when he spits
That's
all
awesome.
the popular songs together and originals are fire." So
Nice.
do you have actually some recorded music too that you record and sell or offer?
Yeah. So I released my first EP that I released was back in 2021, right at the beginning of it. It's a little 8-track album called All Mixed Up. It's out on any platform that you stream your music, you know. And then I just got done working with Cass Haley down in Texas. That was a really fun experience. Getting into a professional studio with some studio musicians, and he was even featured on the tracks. He played bass and did some key work and some background vocals and stuff. And so really just diving deep into all the songs that I have been heavily writing over the past couple years, picking out the good ones, and cut an EP with him in his studio. So he produced the whole thing. Yeah, it was really cool. So that's out now in increments. I'm slowly releasing that. Right now, 3 of the tracks are out. There's 2 more to go, but I'm trying to just think really big because it was kind of like an awe moment whenever that even got offered to me, when it was like, we were kind of kicking around ideas, me and this buddy that I'd met on the road through doing music. And they were like, we really want to try to get you more content out there, because I didn't really have anything at the time. And they're like, what about working with Cass Haley? And I was like, is that an option? Like, you guys even know him? And so then when it unfolded and everything, just trying to take all these songs that I had made into a one-man jam band, and then finding room for all these different parts to breathe in and contribute to it. So it was really cool. And it really changed my perspective on how I'm marketing and how I'm doing music and how I'm trying to push for it now. It's like a completely different animal. And yeah, super stoked. I'm actually working the release process is kind of a unique one. Along my travels, I travel out to Colorado, down to Texas, over to Ohio, up on the outskirts of Chicago, and everywhere in between. And so I really wanted to utilize some of these people that I'd met along my travels, because I wouldn't be in the seat that I'm at without the people that I've met, and help me along the way, open doors and stuff. So I really seen this whole project as like a community driven thing. And so I've met some awesome artists throughout the states and stuff. And I was like, I really want to do these single releases, and then just have, pitch the song to an artist, and then have them listen to it and draw what they feel from the song. And so that's what we've been doing. And the whole goal is that each track, is its own artwork from a different artist. It represents a character, and that character has something that they're going to be bringing to a community table. Because when I'm releasing the EP in its entirety, it's going to be all those characters from all 5 songs coming together to sit around a table. Yeah. And they're all bringing something different. Maybe someone's bringing a meal, maybe someone's just bringing insight or a book of knowledge, whatever the case may be. Just their shining energy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so yeah, I really want it to be something where I'm, their logos are on my website, I'm helping them, they're helping me. So it's, their audience sees my stuff, my audience sees their stuff, and it's kind of just where we can grow like that.
That's the best way to do it these days, is to just having by best, they call it word of mouth in the old days, where people would pass stuff around and say, have you heard this or you seen this? But then the more people that
Right.
do something good, more people enjoy it, and it really does work well. I mean, that's the way my art has gone for years, is just doing as much as I can get out, and then it gets passed around by other people. It seems like music's the same way. I feel like in a lot of ways.
100%. Yeah.
That's really neat. That's really neat. I think you even asked me to do something and I didn't do it. I don't know. It was probably anyway. Talk about that another time.
Yeah, I mean, we all get busy, you know. It happens. Life
Yeah,
hits
yeah.
us.
I get busy making excuses, I think probably. But
It's called getting old.
it's called getting older. It just happens. And Scooby, you coming
Let's,
to say hi, Colt? Say hi to Colt, Scooby?
You want to
Hey,
let Colt?
yeah, Colt, would you like to play a song and give people an example of what you do? We'll come back. We'll talk more. We'll break it up in pieces like that. If start with you,
Yeah, for sure.
and we'll give you guys a few minutes to
100%,
Colt
yeah.
here, and let you see what we're talking about here because we both of us are encouraged by the show that we saw when he played, and makes us feel good to hear it. So let's hear some of it if you got something.
Nice, for sure. So I've been inspired by so many different genres. It's so hard. Like I don't really stick to one wheelhouse or anything when I play. I grew up on like Southern gospel and old folky bluegrass stuff, and then fell in love with reggae and all different kinds of genres. So I'll be playing some different feels. This is one that I wrote after being on the road for a couple weeks and just I ride solo. And it was just getting to a point where it's just like, man, it's like the 7th day that I've been on the open highway. And I kind of wrote this song. It's called Chase the Buzz. And it's about me just driving around, just, chasing that feeling that you get for playing for people live. I can sure use me some friendship. 'Cause this here week it's been too long. My soul is burning like an incense. Time to pack my bags and carry on. Sometimes I feel just like a burden in my headspace. Like my hometown or what once was. I'll find some peace along this here highway. Change the scene just to chase the buzz. I've been growing far from perfect. Just felt inspired to let you know. Though my words seem like a sermon, they're just the walls of Jericho. Sometimes I feel like I've been marching around in circles, trying to shadow myself down. I hear the trumpets and they sound a warning. I storm the gates with a mighty shout. I feel like rolling up a new one. You can take that any way you choose. My life is best with big ambition. Webster's definition told me that's you. Sometimes I feel just like a coal stuck in the fire, waiting for the day to settle down. Well, I guess for now I can't retire. Let's burn this whole thing to the ground. Sometimes I feel just like a burden in my headspace. Like my hometown or what once was. I'll find some peace along this here highway. Change the scene just to chase the buzz. Change the scene just to chase the buzz. Change the scene just to chase the buzz.
Well, unfortunately, it cut out pretty good there, Cole, for some reason. I don't wonder if when we put you in the waiting room and you came back in, if your original sound change went off again.
Oh no!
When you were singing, it would pick up, but whenever you went to your just guitar, which was gorgeous, we could watch you play it. I could tell it was wonderful. Apologize,
Yeah.
folks. We always have these little technical glitches and issues. I wonder if I put you back in the waiting room for a minute and then brought you back in, if it undid that setting again. I can
It
never
did.
tell.
I just turned it back on. It did.
All right. We'll come back to that in a second. You don't have to make up for it like that. We got.
Sweet.
Your energy is wonderful to see, and just
Thank you.
a beautiful expression of who you are. And I can tell a little bit by just listening to the songs that I've listened to that you got some conscious lyrics there too that you're writing. They're kind of thought out.
For sure. Yeah. That's my biggest thing is just trying to write words that hold the meaning.
Somebody asked on there who made your tie dye.
This is one that I just reverse tie-dyed.
See,
Myself,
you did it,
yeah.
Laura. See, Laura's asking. Geez, that's Phil's partner up there in Aurora.
Nice.
But yeah, we got all kinds of interesting questions. I thought that was what happened. You're sounding great whenever it would pick up, but then what happens is you get this broken up CB sound kind of thing that happens. Like it's a
I
radio,
get you.
two-way radio.
Right.
Some people now listen, Colt. Some people will go into the studio and they'll pay thousands of dollars extra to get that sound.
Right. Yeah.
Like we want to sound old timey and broken, like it was recorded on the first tape deck ever, or something like that. Like okay, we can do that.
Yeah.
Run you through Zoom and through a telephone call.
Right.
There's an old Bad Brains song where it sounds like he's in this other room, and apparently he didn't want to come into the studio, and they recorded him more with the telephone. But it made the song so cool, because his voice was in this weird affected zone through the telephone line.
Right. That's
But you
awesome.
never know what you're gonna get. We'll give you a rebate on that here in a couple minutes. So how long have you been playing music for?
Oh man, I've been playing for quite a long time. I'm 30 now. I've been playing guitar since I was probably around maybe like 11 or so is when I really started fumbling with it.
Nice.
But I didn't really start taking it seriously until I was about 13 or 14, and really just kind of working on just plucking around and with other folks. I never really was much of a singer or nothing like that. My whole family on my mom's side, they all play music and stuff too. So it was more just kind of like, my brother sings and plays bass. So we started a little family band and whatnot. And my main objective was just trying to get good at guitar. And then once we started booking a few shows and stuff like that, it started turning into, me diving more deep into helping carrying that accompaniment along. And yeah, it's been a wild ride. When I first moved to Missouri, just settling down, I moved with an ex of mine to Missouri, and we did it just because we were tired of the small town that we lived in. So we just wanted to have a big change. We didn't know anyone in this area, and we just wanted to get up and go. So having that transition and then realizing, oh shit, I kind of got to buckle down and do all the adult stuff you're supposed to do. And I gave up on music for like 5 years. It really sucks to say that.
No,
but,
that's fine. We do that in life, take breaks and
Yeah.
stuff.
Exactly. Looking back on it, like it was all for the best because I shifted my focus into working a job and stuff and building a good foundation for myself. Almost like a feathery bed, so to speak, so I could one day take that leap and it'd be a comfortable fall.
Coffee's outside. Oh, no.
Yeah. That's awesome. You tell that's from a pretty early age to be playing when you're a teenager, basically, and that's pretty cool. You can tell you got a lot of style, and I like how you've come out with your own voice now, and it becomes its own thing. I mean, I'm curious about your family band at some point, but that's a whole other interview, I suppose.
Yeah.
The stuff
Yeah,
that
those were the days.
It sounded great. I heard it upstairs. I had to let my dog out, and
I told him it sounded like shit. You don't have to lie to him.
Right, yeah.
well,
We were having some sound issues. We got to fix now for the next
it's
one.
freezing out here, man. We got snow. We got minus 20 wind chill factor tonight.
Wow.
And my dog
Hey,
goes
Chicago.
outside. Here's Chester, and he's like, "Dad, man, I'm freezing my balls off." I keep telling him, "Man, you don't have any balls." He goes, "Man, it's cold."
He already done froze them off. So
No, you don't have any.
we're sponsored by the SPCA.
Yeah, minus
Pay
20
your
tonight.
pets.
Minus 20. But anyway, Chester says, "Good stuff."
So Colt Ball has
Colt.
I see your name on a lot of stuff. I like putting your name on posters. I like seeing that. And you got some shows coming up that are special that you want to talk about at all? Where you're going to be playing?
I mean, yeah. So I'm just doing some bar gig runs and stuff like that. Actually, tomorrow I'm gonna be at that place where I met Phil at 9th Street Pub in LaSalle. It's a cool little dive bar area. They got a nice little pocket stage, a cool little green room downstairs. That also doubles as like the smoking room when it's cold outside,
Sure.
And a little pool table off to the side and stuff. It's a nice little place. And I'm gonna be playing around in Peoria this whole weekend. I'm at the Neon Bison on Saturday, and then kind of hanging around, getting to hang out with some folks. I really love the Peoria area. They've welcomed me with open arms, and it's just
Great music scene. Music
excellent
followers
music
there that really enjoy music. I mean, I got a ton of friends there that we see them at every show.
Yeah. It's awesome to see how like thick the support system is there, and how much people care about going to support the venues and the other artists as well. And then that's one of the few places that I've been to where it's like everyone's pretty open about being like, oh, you should play here, 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 and here. You know what I mean? Like it's not bashful about like kind of nudging you in the right direction. There's definitely some places along the travels that people think that, you know, it's a gold that they're holding on to, and they get in a weird mindset where they just see you as competition as soon as you roll through town, and totally didn't get that from Peoria.
Right. No, I know what you
They
mean.
just
I know what you mean by that. Some towns you gotta there's not enough people there to keep the scene really flowing as good as it should. So they do compete over the what scene is available, you know. But Peoria
Right.
seems to always be hungry for it. They're always in the Peoria area, all the way up towards Canton and down to Bloomington. I see you guys on the feet over there. Um, but they're just dedicated to the music, and they'll come out to new stuff, and then because
Yeah,
of that, you get better bands. Because of that, you get better bands get to come to town, you know, and play at Kenny's
for
and different
sure.
places.
Yeah, yeah.
But more bands will come if there are people there that are going to listen to music. You know, I'm from a town that kind of has a hard time holding a scene together. You might be successful a couple of shows a year if you play here as a musician, but you're only gonna those people are only gonna come see you once or twice, and if you bring bands through, they might not even be interested in anything new at all. So I
Right.
love the Peoria music scene. I'll just leave it at that, you know, for sure.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm really excited to enjoy my time up in Peoria and hang out with some people that I consider family now, you know, and they're all pickers and jammers and of different
Hmm.
kinds. So I really love spending the weekend there whenever I do have shows and just kind of hanging out and having a good old time with them, you know, getting some different perspective musically. But I'm
Okay.
super pumped for the following weekend on the 11th. This was like a spur of the moment thing that got kind of, you know, put on my table last week. But it's a mental health awareness 1 day indoor music festival kind of thing, and it's called Permission to Heal. And they're doing all kinds of really cool stuff. It's in Christopher, Illinois.
Yeah.
They got like shamans and high priests and stuff to do different like like ceremonies and whatnot. And they have like a laugh therapy session, a scream therapy session, just all these
Let's
different
see.
things to just like let it all out, and then they're having music all day long. It's gonna be a really cool
You
one.
know Evan
So
Sturgeon,
yeah,
and
I
I'm
hope you guys
guessing
go.
you know who Evan Sturgeon is. Sturgeon Friends, and
Yeah, yeah, he's the one.
he's helping put it together at least a little
Yeah,
bit,
he's
and
the one
organizing
that's
it.
100%. Yeah, and they're super cool people, and I've met Evan at just different festivals and stuff, and it's
Mhm.
cool like seeing him is like at the grassroots festivals. You'll see him playing and whatnot, but I always see him at all the large festivals too. He's always at least working. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he
He's
will
one
be.
he's
Yeah.
dedicated to the scene, and he's there to help in some way. If he's not playing, then he's gonna be doing, you know, some kind of work for the festival
True,
grounds, and
that's
it's
true. I
really
made it through
cool.
the whole Sugar Creek scene, and every time you go down there, Sugar Creek, they got like this group of dudes that put that festival on, and Evan's one of the guys that's always there helping, doing something with carrying stuff around. You know, so that's really cool.
Nice.
Those
Yeah,
are the
that's
people in our
awesome.
community that make it what it is. You know, that keep it
Oh
what it
yeah,
is.
Grammy
hundred
Brady
percent.
Long Dark is
Yeah.
my new favorite ball. So
Go
if
ahead,
it's in
Phil.
your room,
What? Oh, go ahead, Phil. Yeah, February 18th at Roundhouse. I'll see you
I'm not
there.
asking you what your shows are. We're interviewing a guest right now. He's gonna
Yeah, we're
quit
talking
tonight. I got
about
a feeling he's gonna
shows
quit
coming
tonight.
up. I'm sorry.
But anyway, that all sounds really good, Colt. That sounds really awesome. We gotta watch out for we get distracted.
You're
The
good.
dog was
You're
chasing his
good.
I
ball in the
mean,
room and get turned to chaos over here for just a
I'm
minute.
getting signals.
I feel that. My dogs were going crazy upstairs right before we started, and a little bit into when we were starting too.
You ever come up north, Colt?
Pretty much just like
Just send us
Peoria,
out.
Champaign area. That's about as far. LaSalle. I got a few things in the works. I used to go up to Dixon, Illinois, back when
Okay.
I was in the family band, but that's
Yeah,
about as far as we travel.
yeah. If you came a little bit east, you'd hit Aurora. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would recommend you. I mean, yeah, I enjoy your music. Yeah, I mean, I was keen on it, so
Well, I think we should give him a chance to play another song for us with the sound
sure.
setting the way it's supposed to be, so people can really hear it. And if
If
you
you
feel,
want to, Colt,
listen,
go for it.
Colt, this is always up to you too. We're just giving you the opportunity to do whatever the heck you
Yeah.
want. You know, and
Yeah, for
music is.
sure. I'm
Um,
down to play another tune.
Go
Okay.
for it.
All right. Well, we'll give it back to our friend Colt Ball, folks. If you check, I got the link in his thing to his site down there to check in to keep in touch with him. What you call, and let's see what we got going this time.
All right, this song is it's one I don't really play all that often, but it's called Rollin'. rolling through a bed of stones, cash online and carry on, 'cause my vision is big time and I'm swimming a fine line. My precious gills are giving out, I'm moving fast without a doubt, but my mind ain't wasted. I grew feet with my placement, oh yeah, and I'm rolling forevermore till the water wears us down. I know that even still, like the time before, ain't gonna lay here and drown. Let's turn this whole thing around now. Ooh. I said ooh. I was working hard, but steady still, 6 days a week just to pay the bills. My mind it grew restless. I found deep out my best dressed, suited up. I grabbed a pen, wrote down my thoughts, and told my friends that there's more to survival than that age-old revival. Oh yeah, now I'm rolling forevermore till the water wears me down. And I know that even then, like the time before, ain't gonna lay here and drown. Let's turn this whole thing around now. Ooh. I said ooh. I said ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Play my tunes, sing my songs, pass the time, observe it all, 'cause that's fuel for tomorrow. We give praise for what's borrowed. We learn to live in waves of love. Tuning in, she's speaking up, and I'm awfully blessed that I can carry her message, oh yeah. Now I'm rolling forevermore until the water wears me down. I know that even then, like the time before, ain't gonna lay here and drown. Let's turn this whole thing around now. Ooh. I said ooh. Now we're rolling forevermore until the water wears us down. I know that even then, like the time before, I ain't gonna lay here and drown. Let's turn this whole thing around now. Ooh. I said ooh. Ooh. I said ooh.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that sounded good. That sounded really good. I told you he was
Right on, Colt.
awesome. Yeah.
I feel better this time.
Yeah, definitely. I think I just lost your picture. There you are. Hold on. I'm trying to. What happened? There we go. Okay, put it back. No, that sounded really good, man. That sounded really good. You sound perfect. Yeah, perfect. Wonderful. I mean, I don't know if I'd release that track, but
Thank you.
it was really good.
Sweet, sweet.
Phil, are you still muted? Hold on. Oh, he's back.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm working with
No,
the
I'm
new
not
setup
muted.
myself.
No.
No, it sounds you have really good sound. Our sound ranges from everything you could ever imagine, just singing from into a can to the Led Zeppelin studio Abbey Roads or something like that. So you're pretty close. You're way closer to
Right,
Abbey
right.
Roads end of things than Muscle Shoals, we call it, than some people are. So that's really sounded good and really good.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
See, people checking in from all over the place. Ryan McMahon from Georgia. We got Dustin Feiger from Springfield. He's a good promoter. You know who Dustin is. You met.
Yeah, the Elderbeard family. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
he brings a lot of good music around. Saw him last night. Something I did with Pete Jive and John Till in Bloomington. It was nice. To wine tasting
Awesome.
room.
That's what's up. Yeah.
There was a
Yeah, I
wine
love
tasting
hanging out with those
room.
guys.
And I walked in to see the music, and when I got in there, it was like this is a fancy place. I kind of
Yeah.
and they were like,
They have wine.
there was one table. It was all wine tasting and like the fanciest. I mean, that's fancy to me. Don't get me wrong. But I got the one table in front of the band, and I'm sitting there like, and I'm just like, oh man, I think I'm just gonna drink water. I'm sorry, I took up a table in your restaurant tonight, but I'm here for the music,
Right,
So
right.
ended up filling the table. They bought some stuff, and we had potatoes and steak and whatever they were bringing to the table. So, but anyway, that's
Yeah.
completely off the subject. But Dustin, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you out there.
I've
Um,
definitely
do
been
what
in
we want.
places like that where I've played like there's a winery that's in the middle of Missouri that the first time I went there it's like marble floors, marble walls, they got this big beautiful fireplace. It's so echoey in there, it was so hard to dial in my sound. I'm coming in wearing a bucket hat with mushrooms and snails. I'm like, I do not fit in here right now. Like, but we had a great time.
But
That's
say
my
how
favorite
that-
part too is like the older crowd too. It's just like when I'm playing too, I try to do a lot of originals. That's what I'm trying to push. But of course, I grew up on classic rock and southern rock and folk music and blues and stuff, and so I can really connect with some of the older crowd that way too. And I even bust out a bunch of Disney tunes and stuff just
Yeah.
to try to win over
Yeah.
the people with children.
You have a very soulful voice. You sound really good when you sing. It's got a lot to it. A little more edge than some people have. It's really good.
Thank
Now
you.
in your family band, what was like your mom and everybody was who all was in the family band? I'm curious. If you don't mind me asking.
So, the one that actually just like kind of toured around and did shows, it was just me and my brother, and then like our brother from another mother. It was someone that grew up in the same cornfield as us. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Oh yeah,
And,
sure.
Yeah,
What
we were
kind of
three
music did you
pieces.
play?
So I played guitar, and then our buddy played guitar as well. We'd switch back off and on for solo leads and stuff. He was a rhythm player that could do solo. Chris, my brother, played bass and sang. He did most of the songwriting and singing, and then I was just working on my voice and stuff and trying to write songs myself. But we did a lot of reggae when we were in that band.
Nice.
And when I say reggae, more of like sublime driven reggae, not your
Sure,
old school
sure.
roots. And it was fun. We did a lot of really cool shows, but it was definitely not suited for that area because the majority of the people that lived in that area and that were even booking us, they wanted to hear like Hank Williams Sr. and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
and I love all types of music, but it's not what we played. And it was honestly that was like a deciding factor for me to even come closer to St. Louis. I was
Yeah.
like, man, if we're gonna keep this band thing going, much better music scene for what we're producing here. And
When we're young, we want to play what we want to play, and but you're not necessarily playing so that people just be entertained. You want to write new music, make new material. You want to kind of
right,
latch on to what's going on at the time, or what's popular at the time, and it never seems to fit wherever anybody comes from. It never seems to fit there.
right,
That's usually
exactly.
comes from places where it didn't fit originally. They moved someplace else and it fit, or whatever, or people just figured it out from there, and became the next.
You haven't
Modesto,
figured it out yet.
Modesto, Illinois could be the next San Francisco. People could start flocking there.
Yeah, maybe
Mention it on the
so.
show.
Maybe so.
You'll have an overflux of people there. That's where the next summer of love is going to be. Actually, folks, we're not today.
I mean,
Sorry,
there's
Modesto, Illinois.
all the fields bleed together. You could have one hell of a party out there.
Right? Yeah, it's all. I'm in Central Illinois. I know all about some flat fields and farm towns, especially. I'm not born in one. too, but that's funny. You never know. Hey,
Modesto, California?
no, Modesto, Illinois, apparently.
Oh, because Modesto, California is a little.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about Modesto, California, folks. No offense, Jeffrey, if you're watching, but we not talking about Modesto, California today. But it makes me think of Modesto, California. But we're Modesto, Illinois. We got Paris, Illinois. We got Nashville, Illinois. You know, we got
Yeah, yeah.
Springfield, Illinois, of course. You know, but something I always ask every guest, and I'll get this out of the way right now because you kind of already talked about your upbringing in music and where you came from. But and you said you had a guitar when you were 11, so you must have been young when music became important to you.
Oh, for sure.
So, like when you were a little kid, do you remember like what song or what type of music or what it was that made you just pulled you into music? I mean, they were playing around you too, but was there a song that was like that you just remember from being really young that you liked, like right off, music? What is this? It's music. Why do I like this?
Yeah, so like I said, when I was super young, my mom's side of the family, they all played music. My grandpa, when he was still alive, plucked a little guitar and sang. My mom or my grandma played the upright bass and sang, and they all did like, churchy bluegrass styles. So I actually have an old recording of There's a Hole in the Bottom of the Sea of my grandpa playing it, and he passed away when I was like, 4 years old. But those are the first actual valid memories that I even have is they grew up on a self-sustained farm. They rarely went to town for anything. But it's like I remember being a little kid and all the neighbors from around the area, they just throw hoedowns every like once a month. All the neighbors would come, and this guy might bring beans, this guy might bring corn, this one's bringing the hog, you know what I mean? And everyone would come together as a community and they'd all just pluck away, and it was just it was a party, but it was them just. So that's what I grew up in. So listening to those old school country songs, I know that one sticks out in my mind, and
That's
uh,
cool.
"Son of a Gun, We're Gonna Have Big Fun on the Bayou." That was a good one for me when I was younger.
Sure.
But it's weird how like my influences changed because I was exposed to that, and that's what got me as a kid, like toe tapping and being like, really engaged into music and just hearing the sound of a guitar strum and seeing my whole family kind of like doing this, dance with music and inviting other friends over. And I was like, this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah, I like
But
that.
I also, wanted to be a kid and I wanted to go to the city really bad. I had a lot of friends that lived in like one of the towns that was like close by to where we lived. And we ended up moving there in when I went to high school. And slowly progressed, and now that I'm in St. Louis, it didn't take more than a couple months of being in the busyness of the city before I'm like, man, I want to go back to the country. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I didn't appreciate all that lifestyle and living on the farm and just kind of, you know, everything that goes around with that. And I say all the time when I'm on the road and I'm engaging with people, in the crowd and whatnot, that one of the things I miss is just that porch picking, of going back home and playing guitar with my mom and singing songs and harmonizing and doing it as a group, especially as a family. It's something special for sure. So that's definitely what got me into doing music, folk music, and then shortly after that, blues. Like I played blues like it was going out of style when I was like 10, 11 years old.
Nice.
That's what I gravitated towards.
I think that's important. That question, I always ask that question because we all come from somewhere musically, and we end up here where we're at. We all like different kinds of music. We're born during different times. You had it like you were just. It was just part of your life since you can remember. It sounds like. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. Yeah, and it's one of those things now where my family doesn't really get together and stuff as much,
yeah.
and so it's one of those core memories. It's like, damn, like that's what really brought us together was the music.
There's something about them being Midwest about I came back here too after a while, and you appreciate what you had as a young man more than you do when you were a young man. I don't know what it is.
Uh,
We we,
yeah,
pro-
for
we
sure.
protest authority by default. I think it's we protest our parents, and then we come back and we just want to be nothing but our parents. We just that's. I don't know. You know.
I
That's
resonate with that so much.
yeah. Phil, what do you think?
I think it's a beautiful night, and thanks for having Colt on. I enjoy your music. I can't wait to see you again,
For sure.
and safe
Did you
travels.
did you eat that
Play
gummy before the
on.
show? Did you eat a gummy before the show?
Excuse me?
Did you eat edible before the show?
No.
Oh, okay. You were talking about it anyway. Sometimes
What are you
the pre-show gets out of
bringing up?
hand. I'm just checking to make sure you're all right over there. You're kind of quiet.
Your breath mints.
Kind of quiet tonight. All right.
Did
Yeah.
you?
Well, maybe it's me. It's me. It's me. It's not
Okay,
you.
I
It's
did.
me. Okay. It's not you. It's me. It's all right.
It usually is me. I mean,
It wouldn't go off the rails right if it wouldn't go off the rails a little bit. I made this for you today, Phil, too, by the way. When people share stuff like that, I steal it and make something fun out of it for the show. But I got off the internet, so I think it's free.
Yeah, exactly. It's safe to use.
Yeah.
it still boggles my mind how we did it 143 weeks now, right, John?
This is 143rd week. Yeah, this is our 143rd week doing this.
Yeah, and then
Nice.
150 plus
like
guests.
this, where I act like a, what the hell am I, so
I put you on the spot.
somehow we got through this, and to have people who want to come on our show, like Colt and other guests.
He didn't know what he was getting himself into, really. He just answered the message.
Well, he's still sitting here, so
Yeah. The only thing I tell people is just not very professional. Whatever it is that we do.
no.
It's a
But I
fun
think
time.
it's about music and being I'm a critic of music, and Colt, you're right on.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
So we're not going to make you leave yet. If you want to sing another song for us, we like to milk the guests for as much as we can get.
Yeah, you can play a song.
Yeah.
And your songs are wonderful, and your voice is wonderful. You sound great.
Thank you so much.
So
Appreciate
if
it,
you'd
yeah.
like to play anything else or talk about a little bit more about anything, we just, that's why we're here, I guess. We run out of
For
questions
sure.
pretty quick. The first
No
song.
more
question
song.
was my.
You can't talk. He's got to play a song. I got to go to the bathroom.
Well, now we're having a good conversation. And what do we do then? All right. So all right, you go to the bathroom, Grace Slick, or Grace Jones, and I'll talk to you in a bit. Cool.
Right on. Yeah, I'll definitely play another song.
So yeah, thank you, Colt, for coming on the show tonight. This is awesome. We appreciate you just being part of what we do. It's all for fun, but we want to make sure that people that are out there get a little music when they don't got it, And this all started during COVID, of course. So it was really important during those first year or so about people that were coming on that we just weren't going anywhere. So we just carried on the tradition because we don't know how to stop it now.
I feel that. That's when I said I took a break from music. That's what got me back in was COVID. And so many of my friends, like I worked at a factory that was considered, still like active. You know what I mean? It was what's the word
Essential,
I'm looking
they
for?
said.
Essential, yeah.
Yeah.
And but everyone was like, "Oh man, COVID is just this nightmare and everything's shutting down." But actually coming out of it, I was like, it's kind of a blessing in disguise. So I seen so many people that were just kind of like bedroom performers or hiding off in the
Yeah.
wings that really had time to sit with their thoughts, sit with what they wanted out of life. They mastered their craft, whether it be music or painting or dancing or even just getting better at speaking. I'm like, well, you guys just for months on end, you've been just talking in the mirror. I haven't heard you spoke more than 5 words every time we've hung out. You know what I mean? And it's just like people really grew into their own. I think it was a time for a lot of creative people to really hone in on what they want and shine. And it definitely helped me sitting around the house and being like, man, what am I going to do? No one wants to come over. No one wants to do anything. And
Yeah.
we kind of can't do anything.
Shouldn't, right? Yeah, we're not supposed to.
Yeah. And so gravitated towards music. And that's what really helped me start developing better songs, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Well, take it away if you want to, Colt, and we'll come back and we'll say one more final thing before we get going. Probably think of something good to say, Phil. Okay, whenever he comes back. All right, give him a.
Right on. So this song's called Old Soul. It's a newer tune of mine, just kind of about a meditation practice of the mind and trying to figure out, what my purpose is here and stuff, You got the gift to give your reasons. We need some writing on the wall. It's hard to fit in with the seasons, baby. I just don't wanna be the one to fall. I'm on a mission for the self-growth, but time and time I'm told again, is it the image of the old man singing through the whispers of a choir in the wind? And I said, no, man, it's just an old soul stuck in the new age, with the message to deliver to us all. And I said, no, man, it's just an old soul stuck in the new age, with the message to deliver to us all. You got a tongue that turns to fire, you better learn to wear it well. It's hard to fit in with the roots of desire, but it's easy to perceive this life as hell. The repetition ain't no scapegoat, but time again has set me free. My meditation is the long road driven, so I'm shifting through a deep reality. And I said, no, man, we're just some old souls stuck in the new age, with the message to deliver to us all. And I said, no, man, we're just some old souls stuck in the new age, with the message to deliver to us all. Yeah. The message to deliver to us all. You got the moment in your movements. The selfish stride has now begun. If you got the capability to do it, it's your responsibility to get it done. It's more than walking on that tightrope. It's more than planting seeds to sprout. It's time to jump the ship and leave the boat floating, cause the harvest we could never go without. And I said, no, man, we're just some old souls stuck in the new age, with the message to deliver to us all. And I said, no, man, we're just some old souls stuck in the new age, with the message to deliver to us all. There's food upon the table, and water under the bridge. Try to stay grateful, the key word try. This life is unstable, but that's just the way it is. The body won't live, but the mind can die. The body won't live, but the mind can die, 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 die. The body won't live, but the mind can die. Message to deliver to us all. And I said, no, man, we're just some old souls stuck in the new age, with the message to deliver to us all. And I said, no, man, we're just some old souls stuck in the new age, with the message to deliver to us all.
Old soul. There's a lot to be said for being an old soul. That's what I hear that sometimes from people. I hear people talking about being an old soul. And so, love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Cool. Right on, Colt.
I can feel your reggae influence in there. Your little full stop, goodness going
Yeah,
on.
man.
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Introduce you to the rotten man.
Pastor Ducci, you just
Once I heard reggae, it was over.
Right here.
Is that the 45 of it? And Pastor
Beautiful youth.
That's great. On 45.
Nice.
That's cool. What was your
It's,
early reggae influence when you were younger? Was it Sublime? You said kind of brought that
yeah,
up.
when I first moved to Missouri, yeah. Sublime is kind of what sent it over. I mean, I listened to Bob Marley and stuff like that off and on, but I never really dug deep into it. And then hearing Sublime and was like, it was actually funny because I was like rolling around with a friend who was much older than me at the time. And like, so I hung out with all these older people and I was just trying to fit in and be cool. I was just this young kid that was like, I just want to have friends, you know? And, uh, and so they were like, "Yeah, do you guys like Sublime?" And everyone in the car was like, "Yeah, yeah." And then I had never heard of Sublime, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I love Sublime." And then so I was like, "Well, I better brush up on some Sublime." I totally just acted like that was my favorite band, and then it became my favorite band. Like they just hit so heavy, and they touched a bunch of different scenes. You know what I mean? It was cool. I like to see the transition from the punk rock styles to the ska to the roots. It was cool. And then I dove into a lot of just like old school Peter Tosh and the Wailers and Toots and the Metals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's really influenced me. And then seeing some of these new artists too, you know, I'm a big fan of like Revolution and of course Cass Haley, Josh Heinrich, and it's kind of cool to see everyone kind of taking that progression and running with it. I think it's really neat too. Like you see these different artists, they give their tributes to Sublime. It's like really Sublime kind of created, you know, it made reggae more relevant in different people's ears, and it gave a platform for people to kind of take those reggae vibes and put them into different social communities and stuff. You know. I think I lost your sound.
You lost your sound, John.
I'm back. I pushed mute button because the dogs were barking. But imagine what that must have been like that album is really important because I think it also mixes the reggae with, like you said, the punk rock classics too. And so you've got like Minor Threat and the Descendants on there.
Yeah.
And you've got Toots and the Maytals on the same album, you know, and they put that music together and make people think that we can all listen to all these different kinds of music equally, you know, in different ways.
Right. Right.
I like Sublime a lot. Phil is not the biggest fan of Sublime. He hasn't listened to him enough.
No.
Yeah.
Hey.
You want to bring that up? You don't want to talk about he keeps saying
Well,
Sublime. He can name at least 5 Sublime songs, I guarantee you that. That's one of his quizzes. Like just like you said, when somebody gets in the car and says, "Oh, I like Sublime too. They're great," you know, and Phil always kind of questions that notion whenever somebody is excited about it. But he wouldn't have guessed that you didn't know who they were. But
okay, well, I have a lot of stories and they get long. But a quick story, we're sitting by a campfire at Shoe Fest and these cats come by and we're talking about bands we love and, you know, and these cats come by and they go, "Wow, we love Sublime." And me, I'm whatever, smart ass and go, really, what's your 3 favorite songs? They couldn't even name 2. And but the point was, you know, but since then, a friend of mine and a few friends, I've got into Sublime and listened to all of it. It's really, really good. So, and I watch it, so I'm not going to say it. You can't say it anymore, John.
I won't say that anymore. Okay, well, you won't say that. Listen, there's other bands. We'll apply that to rule to other bands from now on.
Well, yeah, you got to.
He's like me. We listen to a band, and if they got to be around for like 5 years before I really respect them.
Well,
you know, and I guess
remember when we have it sounds funny, but me and John have a thing called date night where and
it's not like a late night TV news program either. It's a date night.
unedited
It's like a branch off of 60 Minutes.
whatever happens at the home stays on the
We don't record that show or go live with that show. No, that's just me.
No,
It's our phone call. That's just our phone call. We call it date night.
but
Nice.
I watched Sublime live from the Metro and it blew my mind.
No, that was Blind Melon.
Oh, that's Blind Melon.
That's my favorite band. Oh,
Sublime Melon. I love me Sublime Melon.
Yes.
That was
Oh
good.
yeah.
That's great. Those are 2 great bands. Anyway, we talk about that all day, but that's really cool. And it's
It's the
important.
same category though for me. I
Sublime and Blind Melon. That's like a 20-year difference, man.
no, both bands
Maybe like
really-
15, 10-year difference.
That was bad. But both bands I didn't appreciate, and I appreciate Sublime and Blind Melon. And because I thought that's my bad, but those are two bands in a category where, man, it was not my time, my era. I'm older, but now I appreciate it. So anyway, I'm sorry.
Anyway,
Nice,
let
yeah.
that go. Let that go. Anyway, we're glad to have you on the show tonight, Colt.
Yeah,
Thank you for
so much
sharing your
having me.
music with us, and I put your
We'll
website.
never be back on again. No.
Please, no, look for Colt to be back on the show first of all, somewhere down the line, and look for him on posters and places you're going and events, and whenever you see his name, check it out. It's a worthwhile show. Really recently, he's playing with a couple other musicians. I know you're playing Marshall and Grassi at a couple shows. And
Yeah,
because you had drummer and bass last week, didn't you?
Yep. Alex,
Honky.
he used to be in a band with Marshall back in the day, and I'd met him at a few different parties and stuff, and so it just clicked. You know, they already jive and can hold that rhythm section down. So we've been jamming but I've also been jamming with a few other people around the circuit and stuff like that.
Marshall Tucker?
Alex, what's up?
Nothing.
But yeah, Marshall.
Only
Alex,
after
and
5 o'clock
myself,
things start to get different.
5:20.
So I think you did eat that edible, but we won't talk about that till after the show.
Well, too late now.
You should have eaten one too. Anyway, Marshall and Grassi is his name, Phil. He played in a band called Stone Sugar Shakedown for a while. He puts on the Happy Trails events. Happy Trails and Jam at the Springs. That's Marshall. He's a heck of a guy. He's going to be on the show one of these days. He's always busy doing something. And they're going to play at a festival coming up, actually.
Yeah.
That's another thing we should mention before the Colt goes is the Backwoods Festival, right?
Yeah, that's gonna be a super good time. So we got on the back roads, the backwoods tour, and it was just supposed to be me, and that was the third time that we had ever jammed together. Period, like rehearsal and all. Like we did it one time and was like, "You guys want to do this? The show's in 2 days." You know what I mean? And they really stepped up, man. They learned my tunes. They really brought some chops to the table, and we won that. Well, it was a tie for us and the headliners and stuff. And I think we just turned so many heads, and people weren't expecting it. A lot of people were like, "Man, I didn't expect you to bring a full band out." And so I'm super grateful for those guys. And we got on the Backwoods bill. That hasn't been released on Backwoods website or anything. So they'll be updating flyers within a couple weeks.
You heard it first here, folks.
Right.
Sorry, Backwoods. They're probably not watching. Maybe.
I don't think it's a big deal.
We release stuff sometimes on accident.
It's a new name of a band.
The sneak peek.
Turn Your Heads, We're in a Cornfield. That's a new name of a band.
Turn Your Heads, We're in a Cornfield.
Yeah.
That's right. So thank you, Colt, again for coming on. Phil, any last things you want to say to Colt before we let him go?
Thanks, Colt, for coming on the Phil N Jon Zone. See you down the road.
Yeah, thanks for sure. Yeah.
Peace and love.
Yep.
Peace and love. That's right.
Thank you.
I appreciate
Thank you very
it
much,
so
my friend. And we'll talk to you real soon, hopefully, brother. Okay.
Yeah, sounds great. You guys have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you, Colt.
All right, Colt Ball, folks. Colt Ball from the St. Louis area, the greater St. Louis area, we'll call it. Playing us a lot of good music for us tonight. 3 good songs, and so everybody who checked in, thank you for checking in. Noah Wan, that's good seeing out there, Noah Wan, and Heather Miller and Laura Boyne checking in tonight. She's like our biggest fan. I think I got a stalker. Her name is Laura Boyne. She's top commenter tonight, Laura. You're going to win a prize, but Phil's going to have to give you that prize later. Anyway, so that was nice. He had a lot to talk about with his music and stuff. I love to see that excitement. And somebody who's been playing that long, so he's playing since he was a little kid, basically. As far as I'm concerned, 13 is a little kid now, you know what I mean?
Dead man's dog.
DMD. I did some DMD once at a show. It was a mistake to do it at the show, the way they were playing. That was really good. No, if you haven't heard of Dead Man's Dog, check them out, folks. Get a chance. Affiliated with Colt Ball anyway, but just happened to be checking the show tonight.
Thanks, Colt.
Yep. So a lot of good things coming up next year. They're already starting to announce a lot of things. I'm telling you.
Okay, you know what? Let's get high. I don't care.
Yeah, I think you're right. You're probably right. Yeah, that's what we should do. It's 4:20 somewhere, folks. 5:12 p.m. Friday. No, it's not Friday anymore. It's Thursday, January. No, it's not January anymore. It's Thursday, February 1st. No, it's not February 1st anymore. Thursday, February 2nd, Groundhog's Day. Where apparently some prick of a groundhog saw his shadow this morning. So, Instead of having a short winter, which will end in about 6 weeks, we have 6 more weeks of winter. No, wait, no, wait. Hold on. That's how you say it.
Wait a minute.
Instead of
Wait a
having,
minute. Right.
he saw a
What's the
shadow.
name of the groundhog?
Punxsutawney Phil.
What's my name?
Phil.
Let me.
Did
Why don't
Phil
you ask
see his
me?
shadow this morning? I guess that we should ask Phil. Phil, did you see your shadow this morning?
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
oddly enough, I saw my shadow
It's
today.
going to be a short winter.
Because you saw your shadow.
Yeah.
So it's either there's two things that happen: you see your shadow or you don't see your shadow. If you see your shadow, it's like 6 more weeks of winter. If you don't see your shadow, a short winter, which is only about 6 more weeks.
You know, you're confusing me. It's going to be a short summer. I mean, short winter.
6 weeks from Groundhog's Day. We should be thinking positive because that means that the times have turned and we're headed back towards spring and summer.
I mean, but it's funny. I mean, I saw your backyard and you're out there and I see nothing. And tonight we got fuck you too. I mean, excuse me. Too late. Yeah, and it's
Oh, we're not on the beats.
we got frost warnings, -20, but it's refreshing to go outside, but it's a little brutal.
-20. I don't know. That's not refreshing.
With
Today when
wind
the
chill,
sun
yeah.
came out, it was like
Aurora,
40
Illinois.
degrees here. The sun was out. Felt like 43. It wasn't bad. I stayed outside for a while. Cut some old timbers down. Made a little fire.
Cheers, John.
Cheers, Joe. Got one little sip left. Now it's gone.
I got a backup.
Can you hear it all? I can hear it. Just a little one.
Oh, dude.
A little one. Baby steps.
That's the baby.
Baby steps to the end of the show. Baby steps to the end of
Holy
the show.
chamoly.
I'll tell you what, it's a different world than I grew up in, folks. The world has definitely changed for the better. Things have been on a positive note, and we need to remember those good things because it's just more fun to have fun than not to have fun. But I won't talk about fun anymore. It's
Too
not that
late.
This is my friend Phil. He's really fun. No, your next show is the event at the snowshoe. That's gonna be fun. Mr.
What
Block,
show?
old shoe. I wish I was going to that too. I'm not, but I'm gonna go to see Cluster Pluck and Sunshine Daydream. Pluck Shine, we're calling it.
All right. Anybody who's watching, yeah, February 18th, over Roundhouse, Old Shoe and Mr. Blotto, for Snowshoe. And, I'm looking forward to it immensely and, can't wait to see you there. Stop by and say hello. I'll be,
He'll be the one that looks like Phil Murray.
I'll get you.
Phil
a lot
Murray.
of people do. It's I can we need a whole segment out of strangers in the bizarrest way.
Trying to find if you're Bill Murray or not.
Oh, I mean, stop me and their face is priceless. And I mean, over and over. There was
I love you in Ghostbusters. Your Venkman's my favorite. Yeah.
I get pictures of Bill Murray and I'm like, what the receding hairline, old. And I go, I like Bill Murray. I'm a sarcastic, cocky son of a bitch sometimes. Am I like that? But no, they're looking at my face. I know.
You're Phil Strodes. There's only one Phil Strodes.
Yeah. When we were at Kenny Kramer's wedding and the tour, the bus for something.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let it go. Wait a minute. Some people go, no, are you sure?
I don't think I'm supposed to take hits off the gaffer's pipe anymore. Off of his bong or whatever. That was more than I'm.
That wasn't a bong. That was a nitrous tank from. And
Luckily, no, it wasn't a nitrous tank. They're tall and green and they make a difference.
I had to show my driver's license. I'm not gonna tell you where or what to show my age, just to be. People didn't realize how old I was. I mean, it was almost comical when. No, you're not. And I go, yeah, I am. And I just pull out no.
Nothing's better than people thinking you're younger than you are.
I mean, seriously, John, I wouldn't bring.
Feels
Yeah, it was kind of. I'm like, come
Also,
on.
when I was young, I really didn't like it because I looked really young when I was going through high school. I didn't look like old like the old kids did. You know, I was young. I looked like a little kid in high school.
You know who you look like right now? Fidel Castro.
I look like Fidel Castro right now, huh?
With
Come
the
down to
green.
Cuba. Come to Cuba. Visit Cuba. Come on down. We'll put
Oh,
you.
I love a cigar, man.
Would love to go to Cuba.
Good cigar.
Fidel Castro, great.
You do. You sure? No, you don't. Now you look. Yeah, I love a good cigar. Cohiba is, that's the most inexpensive good cigar, but yeah, good cigar. Well, I haven't had one in a while.
You think about having one tomorrow?
No, but I just a thought. Yeah. Mhm.
Viewership is down now. We're slowly losing all our viewers. After Colt left, all his friends left. It was like some people were only there to see him, and some people are there to see us. It's kind of random how that works. I wish I couldn't see that number. I kind of wish I didn't see the
What
comments
number?
or the number. The number that says how many people are watching the show.
How many people are watching the show? Is there more than 3?
Yes, there are more than 3, but not very many more than 3.
All right, then we got to quit the show. I'm gonna go eat.
Well, we got to do one more segment, I suppose, where we say thank you for. I don't know. You already did that, didn't you? Short. So you're saying short show tonight, huh? Are you gonna come? Are you gonna stay online?
When I go upstairs, I'll stay online.
Yeah. Well, for tonight, thanks to our guest Colt Ball for coming on the show. Phil doesn't know his ABCs anymore, so he doesn't want to do that ever again, apparently. And so we got. Who is that? That's Colt Ball.
That's good. No.
What do you mean, no?
Nothing.
This is more your style. So, let's just.
Okay.
And love you, John. Love the Phil N Jon Zone. And signing off.
It is my favorite thing in the world.
It's the Phil N Jon Zone. We can do whatever we want.
We'll see you guys next
I'm out
week.
here. I'm going to
Tune in. Maybe one day next week if we have a day off, we'll figure it out. If not, me and Phil are just gonna have date night, and we're gonna have a good time hanging out one way or another. We'll let him go have dinner now, and we'll call this a show for the night. Colt Ball was a great guest. Whatever that thing I smoked out of that probably a little more than I should have.
Making the cutest that I've ever seen. With commentary that's rich and deep now. And none of the topics that will creep you out. Sound of the Phil N Jon Show. You ought to know what all the artists have to go through.
That is maybe one of the best episodes when we had that guy on and did the song.
Phil N Jon Show, send me. Jon Show, send me. Phil N Jon Show, send me a dream. Phil N Jon Show, brought to you by Phil and John.
Yeah, that's a hit.
Thank you all. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah, thank you. Let's go out there. Let's go get him. I think that's what.
Go get him!